www.kids.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do it so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without any delay, let's get started. And today we are gonna learn about 7 one-liners. So we are gonna know about 7 one-liners you cannot miss in JavaScript. So we are gonna learn about 7 one-liners in JavaScript you cannot miss. So basically one-liners are a piece of code that you write in one line and you achieve a certain task. And truly these 7 one-liners achieve a lot, right? So these 7 one-liners achieve a lot in just one line, and that's very good when you want to write short and crisp and clean code, right? And we are gonna see these 7 one-liners. And the first one-liner that is personally I think is the easiest and the best, right? So without any delay, let's get started with the video. Jump! Okay, so the first one-liner is how to convert a string from snake case to camel case. So for people who don't know snake case and camel case, snake case is when you separate words with, like, you want to write like Tom and Jerry, right? I just why did this pop in my mind? I saw it like 5 years ago, and yeah, so that only popped in my mind. So in camel case, we'll write Tom and Jerry like this: Tom underscore and underscore Jerry. So you got the point. We basically in a snake case separate our words using underscores and write them in small letters. And in camel case, if you want to write Tom and Jerry, we'll write Tom and Jerry. So the next word that will come, its first letter will be capital in camel case, right? So this is camel case. Now if you want to convert snake case, that is Tom and Jerry, to Tom and Jerry. So this will be very helpful if we just do this in one line, and this will be very helpful for us in future. And this is the coolest one also, right? If it is not that, basically we don't use it that much, but still it is very cool and very it's used very nicely over here with we are using regular expressions. So let's see the code. Let's just jump into the code. So over here we have a constant convert snake to camel. So over here we are creating a method, an arrow function, right? So we are writing a one-liner that is basically a method, one-liner method, and it is an arrow function that will accept a string. So we will accept a string that will be its snake case, and then we have to convert that string into camel case. Then what we are doing in this, we are returning s.to lowercase. So first of all we are converting it to lowercase. So for example, if somebody write Tom underscore and underscore and underscore Jerry, somebody like wrote that like this. So if we just remove the underscores and capitalize the letter after it, then it will look something like this: Tom and Jerry. And that's not what we want. This is not camel case. So that's why we need to first of all convert all of its characters to lowercase, right? And then we are calling the replace method that will basically replace the part of a string with some other value. So over here we are replacing it like this. So we are creating a regular expression and we are giving it a global. So this will do a global search, meaning wherever wherever it finds an instance of whatever we are searching, that places it will replace. So like if there are two underscores in our snake case string, then we want to replace both of them, not just one. So this will basically global will search for every occurrence of whatever we are searching, and we are searching for an underscore and a word. So we are searching for an underscore and a word with it, right? So this will bring us basically this will search wherever it can find a underscore and a letter with it. Word W basically searches for letters. So when after underscore, wherever it finds a letter, that places it will bring. Okay, and then wherever it finds that, we are replacing it with this. So over here we are giving an arrow function that will accept an argument, right? So this argument will be the value extracted from the regular expression. So the value that was extracted from the value regular expression will be passed to the method, to the second parameter. So over here we'll get that underscore with the letter, and not we are doing w dot to uppercase, so it will just convert that letter to uppercase because underscores don't have any uppercase, so it will convert that letter to uppercase. So that's one part, but still we have one thing to do. We have the underscore over there. So what we're doing, we're doing substring 1. So basically this substring method will we are giving it to basically substring 1, we are passing it 1. So this will take from the position 1 to the end of the string. So at position 1 there's a second character, that is our letter, and because there's a letter over there, that's why the underscore will be cut, because before that at 0th position was an underscore, but and now it will not remain there, and then we'll get the letter only, and that will be returned. And for every place wherever it finds, it will replace on every single place wherever it finds. So like over here, make use of, right? So it will replace over here also and over here also, right? And then it will basically return us, right? And then we can save it somewhere or print it. So over here we are creating s1 variable, and in that we have hello underscore world, and then we are doing console.log convert snake to camel s1. So we are passing it a string that is in snake case, and this will basically return us a string with camel case, and we are just showing it in the console. So it will show us hello and then W capital world. Then similarly with s2 make use of, it will show make, then capital U use, and a capital O off, and no underscore. Similarly with this is a variable. So if I reload this, we see over here in our console, we see hello world, make use of, and this is a variable in camel case. So personally I think this is the most basically interesting one and the coolest one, and yeah, so this was our first one liner. Okay, so we'll move on to our second one liner now, and this is how to shuffle a JavaScript array. So in this we'll see how we can shuffle a JavaScript array randomly with basically just one line, and that is quite cool. Okay, so over here we have some lines that are written. So let's see, if the result is negative, A is sorted before B. So we'll just see that after looking at the code example, then we'll understand them better. So over here we have a shuffle array method, right? So it is a method over here, but one line method, and in this we are just calling the sort method, right? So we are sorting and we are giving it a callback, right? So we are giving it a callback. So let's see now these lines. So if the callback returns us a negative value, so if this callback will give you a negative value, then A is sorted before B. So if we will get a negative value, A will be sorted before B, right? If the result is positive, B is sorted before A. So if this will be positive, B will be sorted before A. And if the result is 0, then no changes are done. So if the result this will return as 0, then they will remain in their original order, right? So let's see now this. Okay, so we'll just start with arrays. So we are creating an array 1. In this we have 1 2 3 4 5, and we are logging out shuffle array 1. So this is accepting an array, so we'll get this array, right? And we are sorting this, we are calling the sort method on this array, and we are giving it a callback, so how it should sort. So now if this returns negative, then the first value, so let's see, when these two are over here coming to get sorted, then 1 is A and 2 is B. Then so okay, so if this returns negative, right? So if this returns negative, 1 will come before 2. If this will return positive, then 2 will come before 1. And if this returns 0, 1, whatever the original order was, will remain the same. So over here we have A and B, right? And how we are sorting, we are doing 0.5 minus math.random. So math.random gives us a number between 0 and 1 exclusive. So 1 is not included. So the numbers between 0 and 1 are given by math.random. And now they can be there can be like 3 cases. One, that when this math.random will exactly give us 0.5, then it will return 0, right? So if this exactly gives us 0.5 math.random, so 0.5 minus 0.5, 0, right? And that will be returned, so it will remain in its original order. And if math.random is a greater number than 0.5, then it will give us a negative integer. If it is greater than 0.5, because 0.5, like for minus 0.6, so we'll have minus 0.1, right? So we'll have minus 0.1 then, and this will return us a negative value. And because it will return us a negative value, so in a negative value, A will be sorted before B. So A will be 1 and B will be 2. So 1 will come before 2. But if this math.random gives us a value less than 0.5, then like 0.2, then 0.5 minus 0.2 is basically 0.3. So when it is positive, B is sorted before A. So for example, B is 2 and A is 1, then 2 will come before 1, right? So over here there are 50-50 chances that B will be sorted before A, or A will be sorted before B. Why? Because math.random can anytime give a number greater than 0.5 or a number less than 0.5, and when we subtract that, because of the subtraction, it is determining what order should it be in, right? So this will be sorted in a random order now. So first it is showing us 1 2 5 3 4, then it is showing us 2 4 1 5 3, right? So we have done this with this array also and this array also. So now this is sorted in a random order, and that is very 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 cool, right? If we were to sort it like with a for loop, then what we would have done through the same way, we'll do for every item we get. If we take a random number, if random number is greater than 0.5, then add that item before. If it is less than 0.5, then add that item after, and lots of calculations, and then we'll get this thing. But we just did this with one line, and that's so cool. Now we are on how to find an average of an array. Now how we can find an average of this of an array. This is not so like amusing, but still it is very important because in programming there are a lot of cases where you need to find the average, right? So this is very important, so that's why I added this also. In this we are creating a method calculate average, and we are getting an array because we want to calculate the average of an array. So basically an average of an array, the average of an array is basically the sum of all the items divided by the number of items, right? So the sum of all the items divided by the number of items, right? Okay, so over here now what we have a calculate average method. In that we are getting an array, right? And in that what we are doing array dot reduce. So we are calling its reduce method, right? So let's see now. Over here we are calling it reduce method. So what this will do, this will basically run an operation. So it will run an operation for every item until it gets the total, right? So it will keep on uh, doing operations for every item till all the items are not over. So over here in this we are getting a total and val, and what we are doing total plus val comma 0. So 0 is the default value for total, and the first time when array dot, so let's take the example of this array. In this we are having 1 2 3 4 5. So we are doing array dot reduce. So we have in total we'll get 0 because we have set its initial value to 0, and in val first of all we'll get 1 because it will pick up the first item, and it will just do total plus val. So that is 0 plus 1, that is 1. Then it will go again, it will set as total to 1 because the total value that came out was 1 now, right? So the total value is 1, and then the val is 2, right? So 1 plus 2 3, then the total is 3 and val is 3, right? So total 3 plus 3 6, and then total is 6 and val is 4. So 6 plus 4 10, and total is 5, total is 10 and val is 5. So 10 plus 5 15, and there were 5 items. So if we divide the total result that is returned from this array dot reduce, that is 15, right? So 15 is returned from array dot reduce, and we are dividing that from array dot length, that is 5, because there were 5 items. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, right? So the average is 3, and because the total value that came out from this was 3 and that was returned, that's why whenever we calculate the average for this array we will get 3. A very easy example but very interesting, right? Similarly we'll have this example, and we have this example also. So over here if we just add all the items, then we have 2 plus 4 10 10 20 30 30 divided by array dot length, that is 5. So 30 divided by 5 6. So the average of this array will be 6, right? So this was the average. It was quite easy but quite interesting. Then we are on how to detect dark mode using JavaScript, right? So this is the wrong. Okay, how to detect dark mode using JavaScript. So very short code, but this is very interesting, guys. Constant dark mode. In this what we are doing window.match media. So there's a match media method of window, and through this we are checking if match media actually exists, right? So over here we are checking if match media exists. If this will return a value, that means it exists, so it will go on our second statement. This will be true, and now it will check our second statement, in which we are doing window.match media, and in this we are passing a string, right, that will basically have prefers color scheme dark, right? So it is through this window.match media is basically will basically check that if the preferred color scheme is dark, so if our window is in dark mode, right? So this will return us an object in which we have a matches property that will have true or false. So if the preferred color scheme, that basically the if the color scheme will be dark, then it will give us true. If the color scheme will be light, it will give us false. So if we reload this, then it is giving us true because the color scheme over here is dark because it is nighttime and Chrome has automatically done the dark theme. There's also an option where we can check if we are in light mode. So if I give light, then this will give us false over here because we are not in light mode, we are in dark mode. So that's why it gave us false. Personally, I think this is also very cool. Next, we have how to check if an array is empty. So next we will check do how to check if an array is empty. So in this we have a constant check empty array. This is a method that will have an array, right? And in this what we are doing not array dot is array. So this is some big brain play, I'll say. This is some big brain code, not play. This is some big brain code. Let's see how. Like for example, we are passing it an array, right? And we have given the OR statement over here. So array dot is array. So we are checking if that array is an array, right? So if you are passing it an array and we are checking that array dot is array, so if we don't give not, right? If we don't give not, then it will give us true, right? Because the thing that we are passing is an array, so that will give us true. And because that will be true, and here there is a OR operator, right? So here there is the OR operator. So because here there is the OR operator, that's why what will happen if we didn't give not, and if array dot is array had given us true, then it wouldn't check only that if the length is 0, right? But if we give not, then if we are really passing an array, then it will give us false, so that it can go on the second check. Whereas if we just give it like a primitive value like a string, then array dot is array, so that will give us false, and we are giving not, so that is true, so it will give us it will just give us basically true. So basically whenever we'll if the array is not empty or it is not an array only, then it will give us true. Or if it is empty, if the array is so if the array is not empty, or if the array is empty, or if it is not an array, then it will give us true. Else if it is a filled array, it will give us false, right? So now you must be thinking, why just we don't give the AND operator instead of just giving the NOT? So I have an answer for that. So when we give a primitive value to this and we just don't give the NOT and give the AND operator, then it will check array dot is array, that will be false, right? So that will be false, that's why it will just come out of it, right? And basically give us false, right? So that is like and if we just give it like that was also a possibility, right? I think that was also a possibility, but this is some very efficient code and very like this is very interesting code, guys, right? So when we don't give it an array, then it will automatically return us that it is an empty array, right? If it is an empty array, it will see that if it is an array, it will be an array, so that's why it will give not, so that it can check the next condition that the length is also 0. So in an empty array the length will be 0, that's why it will return us false. And when we give a full array, true. And when we give a full array, it will be an array, so it will give us false, so that it can check the next condition. And array.length equals 0 will give us false, so it will return us false. So over here we should have add one more check that will be just of a primitive value. Uncaught syntax error, array 3 has already declared. Sorry. False, true, false, true. So this is not empty, that's why it is giving us false. This is empty, it is giving us true. This is not empty, so it is giving us false. And because this is not an array, that is why it is giving us true. Quite a big brain code, right? I'll say it's big brain. Then we are on how to find unique values in an array. So how can we find unique values in an array? So in this we have a find unique in array method, right? And in this we are accepting an array, right? And we are filtering the array, right? And for every basically item we are returning if basically over here we are doing array.filter, and in this we'll get every array item and we are taking its index of I equals to array.last index of I. So if that is equals to the last index of also, so if basically if the last index and the first index both are the same, that means that there is only one occurrence, right? So that means logically if we think that there is only one occurrence, so it will keep that item in our new array, right? But like if its index of and last index of will be different, then it will not add that item in our array. So over here we have array1. In this we are checking 1. So it is checking if array.index of is equals to array.last index of. So that's not true because there's another occurrence of 1. So that's why it will not added in a new array. Then it will check for 2 and 3, so those are also occurring 2 times. And the index of and last index of are not seen, that's why they also will return as false. They also will not be added. And when we'll check for 4 and 5, so when we'll check for 4 and 5, then the last index of and the index of will be same for both, so these both will be added and in a new array. And when we check for 1 again, right, then what will happen, the index of will still be this. It is not changing the original array, it is creating a new array. So because of that, it will find the index of this and last index of this, and those are not the same, so that's why it will not add 1. And similarly it will not add 2, and similarly it will not add 3. Similarly we did this thing with strings and then with some more number combinations, right? So over here it will give us 4 5 because we went through the process for that, so we'll get 4 and 5 in the array, right? So as expected. This is also very cool. All of these are very cool. And finally, how we can generate random hex colors. So this is very interesting, guys. Over here we have a random hex color generator, and in this we are giving backticks. So through dollar and curly braces we can add JavaScript. So we are giving hashtag because hex color start with hashtag, and then we are writing some JavaScript. We are selecting a random number, right? We are converting it to string on 16th base. So the 16th base is basically the 16th base the 16 base is the hexadecimal base, so it will convert it to hexadecimal, right? So whatever number we get, it will convert it to hexadecimal. And what it will do, because the first if in first we'll get 0 point something, right? So we, to remove 0.0 and the point, we have to start it with 2, because the hex number will start from 0 point, right? So to remove that, we'll start from the third index and till the eighth index, right? Till the eighth index, not the eighth. This 8 is excluded, so 7. So 2 to 7. So these are 6 characters that will come, and then we are doing pad end. So this is basically when we don't find the appropriate length, we'll just add zeros in the end, right? Till it reaches the appropriate length that is given over here, 6, right? So it will add a hashtag, and then it will add basically a hex, basically 6-digit hex number that is in hex colors, right? And if we don't find basically a long hex number, then it will add zeros in the end. But the question now arises, there is a question that arises, when will we not find basically like the appropriate length that we need, right? I'll just show you one thing. If we have a number like 0.999.toString base 16, right? So we are getting this. The only case where we don't get the appropriate length and math.random has a possibility that it will return that number is 0. Math.random can return 0, and if we do 0.toString 16, and if we convert it to hex number, then we'll get, what is the problem? Invalid or unexpected token. It is giving us 0, right? So it is giving us 0, and that's not the appropriate length that we needed. That's why we are giving this pattern. So this is checking for the least. This will come like once in a million chances. 0 will come once in a million chances, right? So if we are checking for the least corner cases that can be produced, so it will give us hash and then a 6 digits hex color, right? And it will just log that out. So if we reload this, we'll have this hex color. Wow. If we reload again, we have this hex color. If we reload this, we'll have this hex color. And this is a kind of random hex color generator. And now, how you can just create this in an app, you can just do like show the color on the screen also, right? So you can create a div whose background you can set to the hash color that you got, right? And that could be very cool. So you can convert this simple one-liner to a real application, small but a cool application, right? And these were the 7 one-liners you must know and you should not miss. And thank you guys. If you like the video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you guys. Bye. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos. Bye.